Today, the community of Uvalde, Texas is reeling. One day after some of its youngest members were killed by a gunman at Robb Elementary School.
It just doesn't feel real, like it's unbelievable.
17-year-old Jarrett Hernandez says his friend's siblings were among those killed. His little brother, a second grader, survived.
He was in shock when I saw him. He's just never seen him like that. He was just scared.
Has he talked to you about what it was like or what he heard or saw?
He told me when he was, at the moment he was at lunch when he heard, like when he was going back to his class, and I asked him if he heard like anything. He just said he just heard screaming and gunshots firing.
The Uvalde attack is now the nation's deadliest school shooting since 2012, when 20 children and 6 adults were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Residents here are now grappling with grief, rippling across this tight-knit community just 85 miles west of San Antonio.
My heart is broken for the parents here in Uvalde. It's never thought something like this would happen in a small town and friendly as Uvalde, where we know each other, and it's been a very, very bad tragic here.
Investigators have since shared more information about the shooting and the gunman. 18-year-old Salvador Ramos was a Uvalde resident. Authorities say Ramos shot and wounded his grandmother before driving to the elementary school, crashing nearby and running into the building. Ramos carried one assault rifle, walked into a 4th grade classroom, and officials say shot everyone in sight.
What we do know at that point, the shooter was able to make entry into a classroom, barricaded himself inside that classroom, and again just began shooting numerous children and teachers that were in that classroom, having no regard for human life.
Among the victims, Eliana Garcia, whose aunt found out late yesterday she was killed. Like many others, her family had congregated at the Civic Center, hoping for a different outcome.
She was very happy and very outgoing. Loved to dance and sing and play sports. She was big into family, enjoyed being with the family.
Also among the victims, Eliana Cruz Torres, Javier Lopez, Amerie Jo Garza, and cousins Anabel Rodriguez and Jacqueline Cazares, all of whom were just 10 years old, and special education teacher Eva Mireles, who had worked in the district for 17 years, dedicating herself to children like Audrey Garcia's daughter, Gabby.
That kind of teaching, that hands-on, doing whatever she could do to help Gabby, I mean, that's the kind of thing she did every day.
The gunman was shot and killed by a Border Patrol agent who was in the area when reports started coming in. Authorities confirm Ramos left one of his 2 assault rifles in his car. Both weapons were purchased legally just days before the shooting, Ramos even posting about the purchases on Instagram. His motive for targeting the school is still under investigation. The tragedy has re-sparked the debate over gun control. Tension spilled over today during a press conference in Uvalde when Democratic gubernatorial candidate Beto O'Rourke interrupted Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott and Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin.
You're doing nothing.
No, he needs to get his ass out of here. This isn't the place to talk this over.
This is totally predictable when you...
Sir, you're out of line. Sir, you are out of line. Sir, you are out of line. Please leave this auditorium. I can't believe you're a sick son of a bitch that would come to a deal like this to make a political issue.
Meanwhile, in Washington, divisions along party lines showed on the Senate floor. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell stopped short of calling for legislative action, while Majority Leader Chuck Schumer demanded votes.
It's literally sickening to consider the innocent young lives that were stolen by this pointless, senseless brutality.
I just had heard the minority leader say he was sickened by what happened in Uvalde. Will he join us in allowing a debate and amendments to that bill that will address the gun plague in America? Thoughts and prayers are not enough. We need action.
Back in Uvalde, residents are relying on themselves and their community in this moment of shared grief.
I don't want people to think Uvalde is just a scary place because of this. Like, we're just a loving community. We just want to take care of people and just show love, and everyone's here for each other pretty much.
And that is exactly what we've seen here on the ground. People here for each other. As the area outside of Robb Elementary School behind me has turned into a command post for federal and state investigators trying to figure out how and why this happened. Meanwhile, this school is nestled right in the heart of a community that is very much still in shock, very much still in disbelief that this happened at all.